All right, here we are. My first Wonder Wednesday recording. I'm Lucy Colangelo, and I'm here figuring out how I do all this YouTube stuff and podcast stuff. And I was going to skip it. It's Wednesday again. I was going to record this last Wednesday. So what I realized today was it doesn't matter. I'm doing it. I'm going to record. It's Wednesday. Let's go. And what I've got to share today is my impulse log. I have this folder and I collect all the little creative impulses that come my way. And it's a way of being organized and processing how I'm building out ShineOn. And because I keep putting off doing these lives and coming on and sharing and doing the storytelling part around building this business and showing up for everyone in this unique way with what I've got to share. I just thought I'd dive in and show you my impulse log. So very excited. This is the first thing. This is the script of the first version of the ShineOn Beginner's Guide. And I am editing and paring it down. It's going to be a long one. It's one of those things where if you like succinct, you might not like hanging out with me, because I like the scenic route every single time when we're going through concepts or, just sharing. I just like getting into it and sharing the details and all that stuff. So yeah, I want to just have it out here. This is the script, so I can always remember. Oh my goodness. So the beginner's guide is going to be available right off of my website, right off of shineonmethod.com. For anyone that wants to get into this work that I'm talking about. What's the work, right? I call it clarity mapping, ShineOn clarity mapping. You can just call it having your own little playbook, whatever you want. But the beginner's guide is going to welcome you into that. And I'm excited to create it and just take you on a journey. To share a hint right now, a clue of what I'm talking about. In the beginner's guide, I go over my concept of time. And it's not your typical have a day timer, manage your calendar, watch your hours, time kind of thing. So over my shoulder, you're going to see that I have the picture frame there. And it's more kind of the arc of your life, watching your time in the big picture. And I'll talk more about that one time when the time comes. The other thing that I have going on in here, there's two things. I have this wonderful video that I watched on YouTube. I printed out. This is how I organize myself. So this is Brené Brown and Tim Ferris. This is from a while back. They're hanging out. And what caught my attention was the caption. So I guess Motivation Thrive is the channel that took a certain excerpt out of the full interview. And they put a quote that said, "I wish someone told me this when I was your age." That's how I feel about why I created ShineOn and why I'm putting this effort into sharing it with young people and including them in this conversation. I think I'm just kind of in my 40s realizing that I could have saved myself probably a couple decades if I'd had this kind of guidance and awareness and support. So that's how I'm showing up. And I will be putting all these little bits that I talk about in my impulse log here. They're all going to be bits that I vet out, like flush out in a blog on my website on lucycolangelo.com. But for now, I just feel like I want to put it out there that, hey, this is what was in this folder this week, and come to you every week and just tell you what's going on. Because I think that's fun. And I like documenting things, and time just keeps going. It's always Wednesday, it feels like, in my world. And I like Wednesday. So yeah, in that video with Tim Ferris, Brené and Tim get into some really serious conversation, and they touch so deeply on what's at the heart for me of sharing the ShineOn method and how it helped me when I came up with it. And there's this concept of unlocking a person and how to unlock ourselves. How do we create self-awareness? Brené talks about how it's the hardest thing she's ever done. It's the hardest work I've ever done. I relate deeply on that level. And this is what it is. So I'll be sharing more on that video. Let's go right on there. Oh, episode 1791, the Joe Rogan Experience with Sadhguru. I printed this off, just the screenshot. The full interview is on Spotify, and there's so much goodness. I've listened to this podcast several times. I love everything that so many things that were talked about in there. And the one thing that was so fun for me was hearing Sadhguru use the word interiority. Now, I've always heard inferiority, but I've never heard someone refer to your interiority. And I feel like that's what I've created with ShineOn. It's like a journey inward. It's an interiority exploration experience. Like, and his words, I'm kind of paraphrasing here, but he says, if you want to take charge of your interiority, that there are tools. And he's having this discussion with Joe Rogan. And so I was like, that's what I love to talk about. How, what is it? I like to chew on those thoughts, those concepts. How do you take charge of your interiority? So I printed off the Google dictionary definition of interiority, and I'm going to be writing something about that as well. What else do I have? Oh, this is a good one. Psychology Today, Dr. Peter Gray wrote, "Why Kids Are Suffering." This article. Our society prevents young people from satisfying 3 crucial human needs. This one is so good. And when you see this young girl and how she kind of has this lost look, this image is so captivating. So this was published March 30th at Psychology Today. And I'm going to be putting up a blog post about this as well and talking about what those 3 crucial human needs are. So good. I can't wait to get into it. Oh, Oprah. I'm so glad that she's part of my first recording for Wonder Wednesdays. It's no surprise she's been there since I was a child, momming me on, I guess. So also on March 30th, a podcast was put up in Oprah podcasts with Johann Hari. Stolen Focus is his book, Why You Can't Pay Attention and How to Think Deeply Again. So I just have that printed out, the captions of the 2 episodes that I listened to, because it's a 2-parter, Stolen Focus Part 1 and Part 2. And I'm going to be writing about it as well, because it is just so brilliant. It touches so much on how the effect of technology, our devices are always with us. We're always tuned into things, and our stolen focus, it just says it all. And so it touches us personally, whatever age we are, but also our young people. And I love that. So that's going to be something that I'm going to talk about. And yeah, so that is what's in the impulse log for this week. And there's one quote that I came across that is really resonating with me today as I record this Wonder Wednesdays episode 1. And I just want to read it to you. It's from Brianna Weist. "Remember that the minute you take your first step into the life of your dreams, the first to greet you, there will be fear. Nod, keep walking." So I'm going to nod and keep walking, and I'll see you back here next week. Thanks for being here. Bye.